Hello everyone. Today, I'm going to tell you about 10 everyday products that slowly destroy your liver. And at the end of this video, I'll reveal 4 powerful foods that help restore and repair this vital organ. Most people don't realize how critical the liver really is. It acts like a giant filter, cleaning your blood, breaking down fats, removing toxins, and balancing your hormones. But it's also one of the most overworked organs in your body. And when you feed it the wrong things day after day, it starts to shut down, quietly and often without warning. So stay with me to the end, especially because the last healing food might already be sitting in your kitchen. 10 foods that silently damage your liver. 1. Salt and salty products. Salt is everywhere. In sauces, snacks, processed meats, even in canned vegetables. Just 100 grams of salt contains around 3,000 milligrams of sodium, far above the 2,000 milligram daily recommendation. Excess sodium disturbs your water balance and increases blood pressure, forcing your kidneys and liver to work harder just to keep you stable. Over time, this damages your liver's filtration power and weakens detoxification. But what happens when you combine salt with something oily and fried? Let's move on. Fried foods. French fries, fried chicken, battered snacks, they're loaded with unhealthy oils and fats that burden your liver. During frying, harmful compounds like acrylamides and trans fats are produced, both linked to liver inflammation. Fried foods also raise LDL cholesterol, leading to fatty liver disease if consumed regularly. But fats aren't the only danger. What if I told you even some spices act like poison for your liver? Excessively spicy foods. Now, don't get me wrong, spices in moderation are healthy. But going overboard can backfire. Excessively spicy foods force your liver to produce more bile to digest them. This can lead to bile congestion, gallstone formation, and even fatty liver, especially if your liver is already struggling. Think red meat is safer? The truth might surprise you. Red meat. Red meat contains saturated fats and high-density protein. While protein is essential, too much of it slows liver function. When the liver can't process all that protein efficiently, it creates toxic byproducts, putting even more strain on your body. Let's talk about a drink that's not just unhealthy, it's one of the leading causes of non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Sweet carbonated drinks. Sodas, energy drinks, sugary fruit beverages, they're filled with fructose, corn syrup, and chemical additives. Fructose is metabolized almost entirely by the liver. When consumed in large amounts, it turns into fat. This fat builds up inside the liver, leading to insulin resistance, inflammation, and potentially even cirrhosis over time. And if you think diet sodas are better, just wait until you hear about what's really inside. Fatty foods. Creamy sauces, processed snacks, fast food, they contain saturated fats that quickly inflame liver cells. A fatty liver is not only slower, but more prone to scarring and disease. Over time, this can lead to cirrhosis or liver cancer. But what if I told you that even fruits, yes, fruits, could be dangerous to your liver in the wrong form? Canned fruits. Fruits are healthy until you soak them in syrup. Canned fruits are often packed with fructose-heavy corn syrup, which rapidly overwhelms your liver. The result? Fat accumulation, higher blood sugar, and inflammation. Fresh fruit is always the better choice. But sweets don't just come from fruits. Some of the worst liver enemies are hiding in desserts. Ice cream, candy, pastries, they're not just full of sugar. They're packed with artificial colors, flavors, and additives. These chemicals stress your liver as it tries to break them down. High sugar also promotes liver fat, leading to what doctors now call sugar-induced liver disease. You already guessed what's next. Let's talk about alcohol and the damage it does far beyond a hangover. Your liver processes 90% of the alcohol you consume, but too much too quickly leads to fat buildup, cell death, and long-term scarring. Even moderate drinking can impair liver regeneration, especially when mixed with sugary mixers or taken on an empty stomach. But the most overlooked danger? A simple household item that most people think is harmless. Canned and preserved foods. Canned soups, beans, pickles, they're loaded with preservatives, especially sodium. This sodium overload causes fibrosis, the first stage of liver tissue scarring. Over time, your liver becomes stiff, sluggish, and vulnerable to disease. So now that we've covered the threats, what are the 4 best foods that heal and restore your liver naturally? Let's begin. 1. Garlic. Garlic is one of the most powerful natural liver detoxifiers. It contains allicin and sulfur compounds that trigger enzyme activity to eliminate toxins. Just 1 to 2 small cloves a day can activate your liver's own defenses. But don't overdo it. In large amounts, it can have side effects for people with sensitive stomachs. Now, let's talk about a drink you already love and why it could save your liver. 2. Coffee. Yes, black coffee without sugar or cream is linked to a 40% lower risk of liver cirrhosis. It reduces fat buildup, increases antioxidants, and supports bile production. But skip the sweeteners, they cancel out the benefits. Coming up, an underrated vegetable that does wonders for liver cell repair. 3. Pumpkin. Pumpkin contains rare nutrients like vitamin T, tocopherol, which aid in digesting fats and repairing liver cells. It helps restore damaged liver membranes and boosts metabolism. Roasted or steamed pumpkin is a liver-friendly addition to any meal. And finally, a creamy fruit that defends your liver at the cellular level. 4. Avocados. Rich in glutathione-boosting compounds, avocados help detox the liver and protect its cells from aging. They also contain anti-inflammatory properties and healthy fats, both crucial for a healthy liver. Just 1 small avocado a day can support long-term liver function. Your liver is quietly working around the clock to keep you alive and energized, but it needs your help. By removing these harmful foods and adding healing ones, you can restore balance, prevent disease, and even reverse damage. Which of these foods surprised you the most? Comment below. If you find the video helpful, like, share, and subscribe for more health-saving videos like this.